Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Tats. I'm back with a new video, and we got a brand new 4K that I'm going to review for today. And this is kind of bittersweet for me, to be truthfully honest with you. Um, yeah, I mean, you guys already know which one I'm going to review. It's going to be George Romero, the late great George Romero's Bruiser that we got from Indicator, and it's bittersweet in a number of ways. It's bittersweet in the sense that it's I'm so happy to get this gorgeous, beautiful edition of this really underrated Romero film, and 4K, not 4K or anything like that. I urge you, if you're a George Romero fan, but you really haven't looked like beyond, his zombie films or Creep Show. It's like Romero made a lot of great films. He really did. He made some real gems, and this is one of them. And this movie, I mean, even if all you got is streaming, I would say for the movie itself, I mean, like you can watch on Vudu for free. I think maybe it's free on Amazon Prime and stuff. So there are places you can go. You stream this movie for free, and I strongly urge you to watch it. The storyline is really, really good. The story. I mean, it's an interesting story. It's Romero's take on Kafka's story Metamorphosis, and you have the story of Henry Creedlow, played by Jason Fleming in this movie. I know this is supposed to be a review of the 4K itself, not the movie, but I promise I will get to it. But the story, Henry Creedlow, played by Jason Fleming, he's this really nice guy, this kind of average, everyday guy, but just everybody's always crapping all over him. Everybody's taking advantage of him and stuff like this. And one day he wakes up, and you see that his face is replaced by this white, just no feature, on his face. And then he realizes, like, the only way that he can get his identity back is he's got to take revenge on all these people that are doing wrong to him. His wife is always belittling him and cheating on him and stuff like this. And his boss is always undermining him and screwing him over. And this guy who's supposed to be his best friend is like, hey, let me invest your money for you and everything else. You'll make a lot of money. But the guy's like, turn around pocketing most of it, and on and on. So for him to get, so that's the thing. He completely loses his identity. And in order for him to get it back, he has to go and, he has to go and take revenge on everybody that's wronged him. And as he does, he starts to gain his identity back. And it's definitely an interesting story and a really good concept. And so, yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, I strongly urge check it out. It's really an underrated Romero gem. And also, too, you got this amazing performance. If you love Tom Atkins, you're going to love him in here. He plays a detective in here. And I love the fact that he's playing it like one of these old, kind of like, 1940s kind of noir film kind of cops and everything else. Like, he talks in old, kind of like old movie speak and everything else. It's like the Dane did it, and all this kind of stuff. And like one point he's interrogating a witness, and he comes in with a couple of cups of coffee. He's like, here you go, have a cup of Joe. And this guy, I mean, Tom Atkins is great in anything. And so I mean, there are so many good reasons to check out this movie. So I strongly urge, if you get a chance, check it out. It's a really underrated Romero gem. And it's sad too, because it's like I genuinely miss George Romero. I grew up during the time when we had, I mean, yes, we have some really good up and coming horror filmmakers coming out now. But man, I grew up during the time, we were getting the best from, George Romero, John Carpenter, Sam Raimi, Tobe Hooper, Wes Craven, on and on. I mean, we were getting movies by the greats and everything. And it's really sad that it's like, watching this, it's like, we're not going to get those movies from George anymore, And but and just it is really nice that we're getting this edition from Indicator. But it's also sad too, because for one thing, like I don't know of anybody else. I haven't heard any like upcoming 4K releases from Indicator. They're putting stuff out. They're putting out box sets and stuff. They're putting out Blu-rays and stuff like this. They're still putting stuff out from like they got stuff coming out for America, they got stuff coming out overseas, all this kind of stuff. But I have not heard I've not heard any new, like any kind of 4K releases or anything that they're planning in the near future. I don't know if they've given up on it. I mean, that was the thing. There were so many, because they were doing like movies in the Redemption line that I was so looking forward to hopefully one day getting a new edition that on 4K that I could upgrade, from the Redemption line, and just haven't heard anything. I'm hoping that they're maybe still going to work on stuff like that, but I'm not sure. So, so yeah, but in the meantime, at least I got this. Hopefully, we'll hear something from them in the near future. But in the meantime, I got this bad boy, and this is amazing. This is such a nice addition, and there you go, loaded with bonus features. It's like, man, here we go. I'm gonna take a couple of minutes, so if you want to fast forward, but let's see. Okay, 4K restoration of the original negative, original 5.1 surround sound and 2.0 stereo audio tracks, audio commentary with writer-director George Romero and producer Peter Grunwald. Let's see, archival interview with George A. Romero, 44 minutes. Previously unheard audio recording of the legendary filmmaker in conversation with disc producer James Blackford. Behind the Mask, actor Jason Fleming discusses his starring role in Bruiser and his experiences working with Romero. A perfect fit. Dr. Chud, the former Misfits drummer, talks about the band's appearance in the film and its contribution to the soundtrack. The Worm That Turned, critical appreciation by Kim Newman, author of Nightmare Movies. Always great when you can get some from Kim Newman or Stephen Thrower. Introduction by Jean Baptiste Thonet. I'm sorry if I probably mixed that up. The French filmmaker and critic looks at Bruiser in the context of Romero's wider career. Bruiser soundtrack demo. Let's see. Previously unheard excerpts from Dr. Chud's unused score. Original theatrical trailers, image gallery, promotional and publicity materials, new and improved English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, limited edition exclusive 80-page booklet with a new essay by Craig Ian Mann, an extensive archival interview with George A. Romero, an in-depth location report, a look at the Misfits Romero-directed music video, an overview of the contemporary critical responses of film critics, limited edition of 7,000 individually numbered units, 5,000 4Ks and 2,000 Blu-rays for the UK. So you do get quite a bit. I will say I do kind of find it a little bit disappointing though that I kind of wish like when they did the Blu-ray they could have done it region free. Like I think that could have really opened this up to a wider audience. Because like I said, I think it would have been awesome if we could have maybe had like more people discover this, this really gem of a film, and like kind of really show people that Romero was more than just the zombie guy. He made more movies than just zombie films, and he made some really good films. And and I'm down for it, man. I'm really hoping that we can still get some of these on 4K in the near future. I really am hoping, we can maybe see, Romero films like The Dark Half, Monkey Shines, Night Riders. Maybe if they can go back to some of the older stuff like The Crazies. And I don't know how well Season of the Witch or There's Always Vanilla, I don't know how well those would transfer to 4K. And then obviously, of course, you want Day of the Dead is, like definitely at the top of the Romero list of movies that, would love to get on 4K. Land of the Dead. As much as I would love, personally, I would like to get all 6 of Romero's zombie films on 4K. But I kind of got a feeling with, the way people perceive Diary of the Dead, I know that's getting a steelbook, Blu-ray steelbook. But the way people perceive Diary of the Dead and Survival of the Dead, I'm kind of thinking that's going to be way off in the future. Like like boutique companies are going to be like, man, yeah, we're going to have to put these out. We really got nothing else going on. So, but just the fact that this movie, which just, it seemed like it was almost headed to just disappear into obscurity. And you were lucky if, the only way you were going to see it, like you could maybe check it out for free on streaming, or if you were lucky, you came across the the Lionsgate DVD, but but now that just to see this movie got picked up and it did get appreciation, and I'm just so happy about that. So anyway, so yeah, I showed you the back, and I've already showed you the spine. We'll go ahead and show you the inside of it. Of course, you got your beautiful hard box here, and then you got the 80-page booklet. As you can see, the character of Henry Creedlow there, like I say, he loses his identity and his face is just, so to get his identity back, he's got to get revenge on all the people that wronged him. There's a picture of the man, the myth, the legend himself. And like I said, it makes me sad. The other day I watched Adam the Woo's video where they were looking around like locations in Canada, and they went to Romero's gravesite and everything, and it just makes me sad. It's like he's not here to make those movies anymore that I love to watch. So, but there you go. Yep. Whoa! Oh yeah, the nasty wife who's cheating on Henry. He has to get revenge on her. Look up. Oh yeah, there you go. That gorgeous, that's another thing though too. I'll get to the picture quality and stuff in here in just a minute, but Misfits, there we go. Always cool. Leslie Hope, gorgeous woman. She's gorgeous in this, but I remember seeing her in movies like Men at Work and with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez and like Talk Radio, all that stuff. Yeah. At the I was hoping. Oh yeah, the train scene at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, that was cool. So then, of course, it's indicator. So you got your little cardboard thing here. Like I know I said it before. Yeah, it really would have been a lot nicer if we could have just got like the Amaray case. And then you got the inside there. Revenge has no face. Take out your. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. You take out your 4K disc, and then on the back, just. There you go. So, but anyway, still, it's a really beautiful job that they did with this. Just you guys have heard me say it before. Just, it really would have been nice if they could switch these out and just do like Amaray cases. That'd be a lot nicer. That way, the disc would feel a lot more protected. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's what you would expect from an indicator release, and this is number 211. Oh, by the way, real quick, yeah, I know. Probably people don't give a damn about this, but so anyway, this is a limited edition. I got 2754 out of 5,000. So there you go there. Okay, new 4K HDR restoration of Romero's 2000 triumphant return to independent filmmaking. This 4K UHD world premiere is presented in Dolby Vision in a strictly limited, individually numbered edition that includes a host of new and archival extra features and a lavishly illustrated 80-page book, which I just showed all that stuff. So, so now, of course, talk about the picture quality and the sound quality. As I said here, you got the 5.1 surround sound, the 2.0 stereo audio tracks. Sound quality, I have to admit, I kind of really had to turn the volume up to be able to hear it. So I wasn't exactly blown away by the sound system. Now, of course, if you got the whole surround sound system, stereo bar setup, whatever you got, and everything, of course, it's going to sound a lot better. But like if you're just watching it with just the speakers on your TV and stuff, I did find myself having to really turn it up a bit so I could hear it. So I have to admit, I wasn't really blown away by the sound. Now the picture quality, on the other hand, the transfer they did is absolutely fantastic. I was a little leery about the first couple, three, maybe like first 5 minutes going in. It was kind of like, okay, well, there's a little darker and stuff than I was really anticipating. But once it started, like getting past like the 5-minute mark and start seeing, it's like, wow! Instantly, you start noticing, wow, the HDR on here really, really helps the picture quality. The daytime scenes, like while they look darker, it's like you're really noticing, like, man, that definitely looks like natural daylight. There's a scene where after Henry confronts his wife and takes revenge on her, he's going back to his house, and you can see it's like, man, you could tell it's like it's supposed to be late afternoon. It's like, about time for the sun to start setting and stuff. And the daytime, the daylight scene looks so natural. It looks really good. This is a beautifully shot film, though, too. There are scenes in, you definitely see some really nice detail going into the Bruiser magazine building and stuff. Especially, but I think it really, really like kicks off. The HDR and everything like really pays off when you're getting into the final act, and it definitely becomes like a really, really cool, like old school horror film. You definitely get vibes of almost like you know, almost like Phantom of the Opera kind of vibe and everything else to it. It's just wow. And then you got just some of the scenes in the dark and everything else, and then you got Henry. He's dressed up with the hat and everything. He's got the cape, and all that stuff. Man, it's so good. It is so good. The third act of the movie is really, in my opinion, is really where the 4K really kicks into high gear, and with like the laser lights and everything else, just oh yeah. But I mean, they did a phenomenal job. I mean, this movie, it was like, I have to admit, maybe it's just because I just didn't really have super high expectations for it, but man, going into this, I was just really, really blown away by how cool, the picture quality and everything looked, and the darkness levels and everything else. And you get into really, like I said, it feels like a really cool vintage horror film, especially when you're getting into the final act of the movie. It is so good. And I'm just so happy. Like I said, it's bittersweet. I'm so happy that this movie got love and appreciation. I know a lot of people probably, I know there are probably people who have been like, well, when it comes to Romero films, yeah, Day of the Dead, that's the one you want on 4K, or, some of his other movies, like I said, maybe like Monkey Shines or Dark Half or whatever. Well, mostly like, I'm sure everybody's like, dude, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Creepshow 2, I'm pretty sure people are probably more like, those are movies with Romero's name on that I really want on 4K rather than this. But you know what? I'm just so glad that, this is a movie that, was languishing just in DVD land, and it seemed like it wasn't going to go anywhere. And just, I applaud Indicator for, taking the time and the work and the effort to, get this movie and show it some love and appreciation. And I am forever thankful for it. And yeah, this was a little bit pricey buying it, but in my opinion, for a great Romero film, an underrated Romero film, damn, this was worth every penny of it. And I'm just thrilled to now have this in my collection. And like I said, I strongly urge you, anybody who hasn't seen this movie, I strongly urge, if you're even just a casual Romero fan, and you're kind of like, well, yeah, I know like the zombie movies and Creepshow, but I kind of want to like branch out and look into his other movies. Check this movie out. This is such a good film, sorely underrated. And Peter Stormare, as the villain, as Milo, the villain in the movie, he is so fun to watch as, the bad guy in this movie. But yeah, rest in peace, George, and thank you for all the great movies you've given us. And I'm just so happy, I'm really, really thrilled to have this now. And, this is going to be a cherished edition in my collection. And I hope, if there's still some available copies out there, I hope you get it. And if you don't want, you don't want the 4K, there's a Blu-ray, it's region locks, but, hey, if you got a region-free player, you're good to go. So, but anyway, yeah, this was totally worth it. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much going to do it. So, yeah, I think I covered everything, I hope. Yeah, I need to do a video. I was asked about, what my thoughts were going to be on Jaws 3D, the 4K, and I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to try to start looking at those real quick and check those out and see if I can get a video just giving up my thoughts on, the 3-pack that I got the other day of, Jaws 2, 3, and 4. Just kind of do a quick video about that. But so anyway, so that's going to do it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And That's it, everybody. And yeah, even if all you got is streaming, man, check out Bruiser. You can watch it for free on streaming. It's on Vudu. I'm pretty sure it's on Prime and everything else. So yeah, maybe even Tubi. Check out Tubi or Pluto or something. So I'm sure you can find some place you can watch it for free. So, but yeah, check it out. Great Romero film. So that's it, everybody. So take care. Have a good night. I'll see you all later. Bye.